Everybody, good morning. D. Bonnie here, ER doctor turned marriage coach. How are you today? Listen, I got a cat at my feet and I didn't want to squish my chair on her paws. So are you guys excited? We're going to keep talking about suffering today. You're like, oh my gosh, get off of it. But guys, this has practical implications. Before we go any further, do me a favor, please. I need your help. Can you click the share button, please? Just click it. I don't know which side it's on for you, but just click the share button or comment. Click the share button and comment, and hit the like button or hit the don't like button, whatever works for you. But just share this with people because, guys, you're not the only one. If you are suffering, you're not the only one. And if you aren't suffering, there are people around you who are suffering in their relationships. So they need a little motivation to keep going, because if you've not heard, everyone gets divorced. I've been there twice, unfortunately, if you know my story. So please click the share button, subscribe to YouTube, check out the Apple podcast, Demon Ignite Your Marriage. So we're still talking about suffering today. And I wanted to just kind of dial in on that a little bit. Like, how can suffering benefit us? Well, you know, we all want to get wise. We all want to get better. There are ways to skill up independent of suffering, right? You can hire a coach. Hi, shameless plug. You can buy a book. You can get a mentor. You can take a class, whatever it is, whether it's relationship issues, you want to learn to communicate better, you want to learn how to fix your car, right? There are ways of learning, but one of the most effective teachers is difficulties, right? Struggles. Why is that? That's because if we're going to accept it and we're going to lean into it and we're determined to push through it, now that provides the impetus, the need, the drive for us to move forward and to do things differently, right? If you're stuck in a relationship where things are just blah or worse, right? Or they're just like so-so, you're like, yeah, I don't know. We're married, whatever. We get along, kind of. We're roommates. Then you are in a place where you got to do something different, right? Einstein said that doing the same thing over and over again is what? It's the definition of insanity. So many of us, myself included, we've been in this place where we keep doing the same thing over and over again, and we expect a different result, but it doesn't happen. So we can get a coach, we can find a mentor, we can do a class, we can buy a book and read a book, but you cannot deny the fact that one of the most effective teachers to actually transform you from the inside out is difficulties. Difficulties. Because you're either going to give up, right, and not learn from it, not grow. You're going to go do something different. And I'll tell you, having been there, you're going to repeat the same mistakes. Or you can just accept, like, oh, I got to get through this. So I got to do some stuff different. I'm struggling in school and math. I got to do some more math. I got to learn how to get better at that. And it's no different in our relationships. The difference is, to us, we just sort of it becomes the normal way of doing life. And we don't see it from the outside looking in, going, you know what? I could do things differently. We could change. David Brooks said, we can suffer our way to wisdom. Man, that's profound. I'm not saying it's fun. However, if you're in the middle of suffering, you might as well get wise about it. You might as well learn how to stop suffering the same way. You know, I see people all the time who don't learn the first or second or third time that some discipline, some difficulty comes into their life, and they keep doing the same thing over and over again. So they become like a revolving door going to jail, right? Because they're not learning the lesson. Same thing happens in our relationships. Like, we don't learn the lesson. They're like, hey, I do not have the skills that I need to be able to get along with this other person, and actually probably with any other person in that same situation. I don't have the skills that I need to get along with that other person, so I need to do stuff differently. So if all of our marriages, most of them, face difficult times, how come everyone eventually doesn't just have this amazing marriage? It's because we don't push through. We don't lean into it. We tap out. We're MMA fighters and we're tapping out and we're clicking the divorce button. That's not the way to heal. That's not going to give you what you need, even in the future with a different person. It's not going to give you what you need to have an amazing relationship. So if we all were in a situation where divorce was not an option, right? And we're just like, listen, I'm stuck with you, you're stuck with me. We took a vow before God that we're going to be together forever. And I don't want to stay together forever like this, but tapping out is not an option. That means that you and I have got to figure this out, because I don't want to live a miserable life for the next 30 or 40 years, but I'm stuck with you. So let's do the work. Let's roll our sleeves up and do the hard things that it takes to make our relationship better. Guys, these are learnable skills. I'm telling you, I've been there. They are learnable skills. This whole idea that, well, we just fell out of love, that's crap, okay? Love is an action. Love is a verb. Love is choosing to treat the other person with value. And the less I'm wrapped up in me and making sure that I'm going to get what I'm going to get, I'm going to get mine. Come hell or high water, I'm going to get mine. Carving out my piece of the pie. The less I'm focused on that, the more I'm thinking about, okay, it's not about me, Devon. It's not about you. I know that you are the protagonist, the star of your story, but it's not about you. How can you show up and serve Megan? How can I show up and serve my boys? How can I put my immediate wants and desires, right? Not even needs. Let's face it, they're not needs. How can I put my wants, my desires? I want to do this. I want to do that. How can I put that on the back burner and learn to communicate effectively, learn to listen well? How can I do that? And that's when the marriage starts shifting, right? There's that shifting of the plates, and you change the trajectory of your relationship because you're willing to do the hard. You know, just because it's hard doesn't mean that it's wrong. And so I hear people all the time, they're getting advice from this person or that person. We want to work through our marriage, but my friends are telling me I should just leave him. Stop listening to people who don't know what they're talking about. Now, if you're in a situation where you're being physically, emotionally, or sexually abused, you got to get out. You got to create some distance. That person needs to find healing. Okay? But well, life's just hard. You got to push through. You got to learn the wisdom that comes from suffering. And tapping out does not give you that wisdom. So I've been through a lot of hard in my life, and I will own that a lot of it was self-inflicted. But in pushing through that, in saying, okay, God, show me how to be a better husband. Show me how to be a better father. Show me how to be a better human. Transformation starts happening in here. And when it happens from the inside out, when God is busy doing what God does in your life because you get out of his way, that's when true change happens. It's not my white knuckling it, determined to have more patience. It's not that. I got to get out of his way, and I got to let him get into my heart and change me from inside. And then there's lasting change. Then I become a different person. It's like my DNA changes, right? The same man that was unfaithful to his previous wife no longer walks the face of the earth. Okay, I do life differently now. I'm changed because of all this, because of the suffering, because not wanting to put my children through that yet again, by realizing that I'm broken. God, please change me because I'm not doing a great job at life. Listen, guys, click the share button, subscribe on YouTube, Devon Ignite Your Marriage, listen to the Apple Podcast, Devon Ignite Your Marriage. If you're interested in my 12-week coaching program, shoot me an email, d@dbonnie.com. I love you guys. I hope you're blessed. Go out, have a middle of the week, awesome Wednesday. Just go kill it and love one another. Love you. Bye.